So, you put a bird box in a tree for endangered woodpeckers? That sounds pretty simple, Forrest. What could go wrong?
It is crazy easy to do, Brooke. You need 2 arms and a saw, no brain required. Sometimes much effort is wasted by people who cut corners and think they are saving time.
Is it true that a few minutes extra care when installing an insert can result in potentially years of extra use or even the difference between occupancy by RCWs or tree frogs?
Nothing against frogs, but my organization doesn't have the time or money to make extra tree frog habitat with a chainsaw.
How do I learn more about this amazing thing called inserts?
You must reread Allen 1991. This is the standard. Do not reinvent the wheel. Find it online at www.treesearch.fs.fed.us/pub/955.
A paper will tell me how everything about creating great artificial cavities for red-cockaded woodpeckers.
You'll still have to make decisions in the field that balance efficiency, your safety and your money. Not necessarily in that order. Also, everyone knows that inserts installed during the early days did not have the 4 critical modifications that we currently use.
Hey, I think I know what they are. 1. A PVC liner. 2. Polyurethane coating, XL1 glue. 3. A fully expanded metal restrictor plate. And 4. A drain hole.
Less than 1 hour of installation effort equates to a minimum of 2 years roosting and/or nesting habitat for RCWs.
What other endangered species technique gives managers that kind of opportunity?
You're right, I'm so excited about this. Let's go out into the longleaf pine forest right now and help save this rare species by installing some inserts. Brooke, perhaps I have gotten us kind of lost.
Forrest, you are an idiot.
We haven't seen a pine tree in a while, it is true. Patience, my friend.
That was so fun walking through a half-mile of overgrown swamp to get to this beautiful site. We are so lucky that there are only millions of mosquitoes here, instead of billions.
Yes, I swallowed 7 mosquitoes and fell on my face twice. A greenbrier ripped off my left testicle, and a cypress knee punctured my spleen. But, since we are getting paid so well for doing this kind of work, it is all worthwhile.
Now that we are here, you know, proper tree selection for artificial cavity construction is very important. RCWs deserve our best effort, which includes sound pre-planning of recruitment cluster placement.
No doubt, dude. Consult the plan, U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service 2003. Recovery Plan for the Red-Cockaded Woodpecker Picoides borealis, 2nd revision.
What else? Are there enough potential trees for future artificial cavity creation and natural cavity creation by RCWS within the core cluster area?
Is frequent access relatively easy year-round? Especially during nesting season and translocation season?
Have you considered the relative placement of the site within the available habitat matrix? You know, RCWs tend to prefer the top of the hill compared to nasty swamp edges.
You are very right, Brooke. Now let's think about what kind of pine trees we look for when we know the site is appropriate for RCW. Look for adequate diameter, meaning no less than 12 inches at cavity height and straightness of bole.
Determine cavity height for potential trees. Can you install cavities at the average cavity height for this site?
Always place the cavity on the underside of any.
Does this orientation allow the bird a clear line of sight and unobstructed flight?
Are there adjacent trees that could serve as climbing pathways for rat-snake predation?
Are there stobs or knots below or near cavity height that would make ladder climbing or chainsaw operation difficult?
Think about fire in nearby highly flammable vegetation that would make protection of this cavity tree problematic.
Is the tree healthy enough to easily survive insert installation?
Are there any safety considerations such as leaners nearby, weakness, rot, overhanging dead limbs or dreaded fire ants at the base of your tree?
Orientation. If all directions are equally suitable, westerly and southerly orientations may be preferable, but this is secondary.
To restate the obvious, 4 key things to keep in mind are: work on the underside of the tree's lane.
Place putty on all 6 sides of the box and hole. Ensure there is a drain hole. Work in a healthy tree free and clear of other obstructions.
Okay. I think we have beaten this horse to death.
So you can see almost a rectangle. Tight thing that's just part of the tree. So to make a U shape on the side, and you cannot always get every side shimmed up. There's only so much you can do depending on how much space